Hello everyone, welcome back to the stream. It's good to see you all again. Alright, so we're going to be continuing on from the, from the trigger node system that we were working on yesterday. And I will go over that system again. But before I do, I want to remind everyone that Alka Mortis is available for wishlisting on Steam. I'm trying to get the Steam page updated before the weekend here. So I've got a new trailer in the works. Somebody is making a trailer for me, and I think that it's going to turn out really good. So we'll slap the trailer on there, update the screenshots, and then update the store page copy. Anyway, but the page is up. You can still wishlist it, even though the store page isn't that pretty. You could also support the game on Patreon. If you subscribe at this sponsor tier here, one of the perks that you get is that you will get an Alka Mortis Steam key when the game launches. So this is kind of like a pre-purchase for supporting the game early, and your name will also be listed in the in-game Alka Mortis credits. So definitely consider doing that if you're interested. That would help me out a lot. And you can also support me by purchasing one of my courses. I've got several Udemy courses. They all cover how to create complete games in the Godot engine, and they all focus on something different. So there's a puzzle course, there's like a Vampire Survivors course, and then this is the latest one, which is a co-op online multiplayer course. So if any of those sound interesting to you, definitely check them out. I would appreciate that. And you can join the Discord that is linked in the description below as well. So I hope to see you there, and let's get right into it. Hello, Ninja Link. Welcome back. Always good to see you. You're triggering my nodes. Could you stop? Yeah. Welcome, High Law. Hello, Emerson. Good morning to you. Base XRP, welcome. MF Biggs, welcome. Good to see you. All right, so I think where we left off yesterday, so just to recap the system here, I'm creating what I'm calling internally in the code base trigger nodes. And these trigger nodes are predetermined at the map generation time. And if the player visits a trigger node, what will happen is it will actually apply some effects to all of its neighbors. So the idea is this is going to be like a blessing or a holy effect from the enemy faction, and those effects that the nodes have, there will be positive and negative. So if I go here, for instance, I've basically set every node up to be a trigger node, so we'll be able to see. But you can see now these have some abilities on them. This one, blood reward, is increased by 5. And then both player and enemy take increasing fire damage over time. So the positive one is the blood reward is increased. The negative one is that there's increasing fire damage. Actually, I wonder if that should probably just be the player. If this is supposed to be a blessing, but we'll figure that out later. Blood reward is increased by 5, reduce your maximum health by 5. So yeah, so on visiting this node, your maximum health would be reduced by 5. So the idea is that these trigger nodes will be invisible to the player. They will just happen as happenstance, basically. And then the player will have to respond to that. So I may have been planning to go this route, but then maybe let's say that I don't like the options that are available. I may just take the notoriety hit to backtrack and then go this way instead. So this is part of the effort to make the map feel a little bit more dynamic, to make it a little bit more unpredictable, but also to not just to make it unpredictable, but to present the player with more interesting choices while they're playing the game. And so hopefully that's going to be nice. We will see what happens. Anyway, so one thing that I was trying to do is, does it reduce health just for this combat or for the run? It's like a permanent reduction, yeah. It is a permanent reduction. I mean, I haven't actually implemented it yet, but that's the way that I'm thinking about implementing it. So Anyway, the one that we were working on is this highlight or hiding nodes. So one of the negative effects is that all of the revealed nodes will be hidden when you visit it. So I think, yeah, I haven't gotten that to work, and that's because visited nodes have their map node effects cleared. And this is being set as visited here. Set visited, this will emit signal type changed. Then in the map node effects manager, I think it listens for that type change. Does it listen to that type change? Your map node effects. Yeah, so this is calling clear map node effects here. Let me think about this. So the problem is this set visited is clearing the map node effects, so this on map entered here is not running. I think what I could do is I can actually, I'm wondering if I could just The problem is there's this await show map. This is the fade in for the map. And so I'm setting the node as visited before the map fades in so that when the map fades in, it's already in the visited state. The problem is that set visited is, oh gosh, the cat is yelling again. Shurima, stop. What are you doing? The problem is that, yeah, this on map entered is happening after the visited is set, but this on map entered needs to trigger the hiding of a bunch of nodes. So I don't know. I mean, because I want it to be visible. I want the animation of the revealed areas shrinking back into fog to be visible, but I just don't know. If I put this here before it's visited, that would work, but then I wouldn't be able to see it being animated. So yeah, I don't know what to do here. I think what I need to do is maybe just rework this a little bit. Maybe the map node effects here. Maybe this shouldn't be. Maybe these effects shouldn't be cleared immediately on. being set as visited. Maybe I should just control that in a different way. Oh, this is confusing. Okay, let's just do it manually, I guess, for now. I might want to rethink how this works, but... And I don't know why these aren't static either. I'm going to make these static. This is going to be easier for me. We'll just put this error everywhere. Okay, let's fix all those instances now. We'll go to the map container here. We are going to get rid of this. Yeah, we're going to get rid of this. So it's no longer going to be clearing the map node effects on visited. And now I should be able to handle that myself now. I'm just going to do this. Map node effects manager dot clear map node effects for current node. Get rid of that to do there. Okay. And then where else is set visited done here? Okay, anyway. Let's figure out where all the other errors are now here, since I changed those methods to static, and then we can test it out. Can't type today, I guess. We no longer need to pass this in. Get rid of this. Get rid of that. Okay. I don't think we need this anymore. Oh, we do need instance equals this. Okay, all right. I think we're just about there. And then I need to test that the revealed nodes get hidden. That's going to be a whole thing. Oh, I need this as well. Map node effects manager. Okay, we are all good now. Let's see what happens. Actually, I should probably change this as well. Oops. I should probably change the trigger configuration here. Let's just make it always do the hide revealed map nodes as a negative. We'll give that a shot. It will work. I hope so. I hope so. Okay, so we'll go here. All revealed nodes will be hidden by fog of war. That kind of worked. I think there are still some points here. I think that there's still a reveal point here and a reveal point here. But for the most part, it seems to be working. Although this doesn't appear to work. That's... okay, yeah, so there's a little bit of an issue here. Let's go into hide revealed nodes map node effect. Get fog reveal distance. How does this work? Get connections within depth. There might be a problem here. I think there's a problem with this get minimum distance to node, but we're gonna fix that later. Hello, Clickertail. Welcome back. Good to see you. So anyway, there's a bigger problem here, which is that emit signal node hidden. So we need to go to, what? We need to go to the Fog of War sub viewport on node hidden. For each var node in runMapNode.connections, Yeah, I think this logic is wrong here. On node hidden, we're going to remove the revealed position for run map node into position. I don't think it's accurate to remove this one. I think I need that check in there. I don't know. This is going to be a little bit tricky, actually. This is going to be a head scratcher for sure. I'm sure I'm going to struggle with this for like 30 minutes and then figure out something weird is happening. But basically, the way that the reveal fog of war thing works is that I'm putting fog of war reveal textures on the nodes themselves. But what I'm also doing is I'm also putting a node reveal texture on the road, on the middle point of the road, to make sure that there's a long stretch of revealed area. Now you can see in this case, there is no revealed texture put on the road here because the node that the roads are connecting to is not itself revealed. So it's only when there's a connection between two revealed nodes that the revealed texture also gets added to the middle of the road here. But when I hide nodes as a result of that negative node effect, it needs to remove that middle point as well. See, I don't think this is right. I don't think this is right. This is not having a... It doesn't have a revealed point on it. Hello, Real Crudo. Welcome back. How you doing? Yeah, so these are not having their reveal points added properly, or they're actually having their reveal points removed. So I think that this... Where is it? Hide visitable nodes. I think that this is wrong. Get minimum distance to node. +1. We'll just have to figure this out, I guess. I don't know why that's not correct. So now if I visit this one, we'll see if this works. Okay, that seemed to work. Nope, it's not working. Oh, maybe it is. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. That one should have been removed. Oh no, 1, 2, 3. Okay, yeah, there's something wrong here. Why is that not being removed now? Hmm. Reveal distance, get fog reveal distance for each far node and revealed nodes to list. If the minimum distance to the node is less than or equal to the revealed distance, then we're continuing. We remove the node, remove reveal lock, set revealed false. Emit signal node hidden. That node hidden signal goes into the fog of war subview port on node hidden. We're going to remove the node, then we're going to look at all the nodes connections. Oh, yeah, that's fine. I think this is the problem here, actually. I don't want to remove this. I just want to remove the half point. Okay. I don't know. I don't even know if I need this one either. Or this might be a mistake. Okay. I'm doing good. Very excited for what the next year of my life holds. Very nice. Hello, Kinyaz. How many streams up to now have been dedicated to the node system? You really like it? Well, that's basically half of the game, so that's why it needs to be worked on. Okay, let's see. So if I visit this one, let's see if it properly hides these things. I've had a friend and a secret person come to me asking if I can fund my game to get it on Steam. Legit exciting. That's awesome. Sounds awesome, Real Cruda. Congratulations on that. Hello, Rin. Welcome back. Good to see you. Ooh, I just looted Marshall Holt. Very nice. Okay, is this working now? So that hid that. Got some eyeballs over here. So all of these should be within 3 hops. See, this is not right. 1, 2... Oh, wait. No, that is right. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I think this is working now. I've been watching a lot of your VODs recently because I've been missing a lot of streams. Oh, nice. Yeah. I hope you've been enjoying them. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay. I think this is now working. I think this is now working. Yeah, and I shouldn't be able to hover the nodes that are out here. Those should have locks added. So now what happens if I go back this way? Perfect. So it re-reveals them. Awesome. Okay. That appears to be working just fine. That was quite a doozy, but we're good now. We are good now. Learning a lot of stuff from them. Thank you for making them accessible. Yeah, for sure. I like streaming. It's fun. Fun to get some work done. What about with eyeballs around? The eyeballs are their own thing. They're separate from the node reveal system. So they have their own reveal system that's completely independent. So even if nodes underneath the eyeball get unrevealed, they will remain revealed while the eyeball is over top of them. Okay, now that that's working, I feel better about that. Now this fire damage over time effect, I'm actually going to change this. Get unreveal negative node effect working. Cool, and then I'm going to modify this fire damage over time. This is just going to... I'm just going to change this to only affect the player. Because again, this is supposed to be like a blessing system. So it doesn't really make sense for these effects to harm the enemy. So we're going to get rid of this. We're going to get rid of the enemy board. Okay. That should work. I'm not even going to test that. Okay, so the next one that we need to implement is the maximum health decrease. Context player board, board combat components set max health. I'm going to change this. I'm going to change this. Public void, increase, max health, float amount. I'm going to do set max health, health component, max health plus amount. Public void, decrease, max health, float amount. This is going to be, I'm going to floor this mathf dot, or no, I'm going to do mathf dot max of 1 and that. So we're going to prevent the player from going below 1 health. Hearing his beautiful voice is a plus. Okay. Thank you, I guess. Get rid of this set max health here. Increase max health. That's just a little bit nicer. So now with the map node effect here, wherever that is, reduce max health map node effect. So we're going to need to on map entered. So this one we're probably going to want on public on node visited, something like that. Emit signal visited node. We're just going to do it very simple for now, I suppose. Let's go to the map node effects manager. Public override void ready. This dot get run manager dot connect run manager dot signal name dot visited node callable dot from. Run map node as the argument. On visited node. Put this down here. Private void on visited node. I'm going to make this a static method. Private static. Oh, well, I guess it doesn't matter. Whatever. If not, map node effects, try get value effects on node visited. Cool. And I'm going to want to put in... Actually don't know if I need to include that node just yet. Oh, I guess I need to keep the set max health. Just put that back, I suppose. All right, so map node effects manager, reduced health max node effect, reduces your maximum health by 5 times occurrences. Okay, so then in private, no. Public override void on node visited. Our player board is equal to context helper dot scene tree root dot get board manager dot get player board board combat component dot decrease max health 5 private const int health decrease amount is equal to 5. Cool. Well, let's see if that works. So we're going to make that the only negative as well. So I've got 50 health to start. Reduces your maximum health by 5. So I should see 45 health after this. Yep, that worked. I've got 35 health. Is that right? Reduce your maximum health by 5. $25 health. Probably will die here if I'm guessing correctly. Yeah. Cool. All right, that's working. Okay, so I think all of my map node effects are in place right now. Are functional, I mean. So I'll continue to add more map node effects to make the game more interesting, but I think the system is in place now. So the next thing to do, well, the next thing to do is to figure out like an actual animation for that trigger node. Probably want to do some different particles as well. Let me think about this. So this has the modifier particles here, which look like this. But I probably want different particles to indicate that this node has been blessed. I don't know exactly how I'm going to do that. I mean, I could just do... Let's duplicate this. Let's do blessed particles. Do blessed particles. Let's create a new material. Set this to emitting, turn the amount up. Particle flags, no. Spawn position, we're going to do a box. This is going to go behind everything. Well, let's not do that yet because I can't see it. Let's do 12. 16. Initial velocity 50, 25, 50. This is going to have to go down here. Display scale. Something like that. Let's change this curve texture as well. Well, we can see what that looks like. Will you do an animation or something when you enter an event showing like your max health decreasing? I might, yeah, I don't know. I don't want to set that up just yet, but... Why is that doing all kinds of random colors? Oh, it's being affected by the shader. Right. Well, maybe we won't use a separate color then. Hello, Dragon Apple. I'm sorry, your name changed on YouTube. What if it was the circle, then the fire, then the sword? That could work. Just finished Godot Wild Jam 2 days ago and got destroyed by the turn-based system. Oh, yeah. Oh, the random flames look cool. Orange only look nice. Yeah, the problem with the orange, though, is that it's getting affected by the shader that darkens everything. So it ends up turning red, which is probably okay. I think I'm going to tighten this up, though. I think this looks nice, but I'm gonna change some things here. First of all, we're going to do fewer particles. Maybe make them a little bit longer lived so they're a little bit shorter, and then we're going to tighten up this emission box here. And we'll turn down the initial, or the max velocity, I guess, and the initial one, why not? Okay, let's see if that works. Orange mixing with green. I mean, we can do that, yeah. Haven't been on your streams in a while, but how's Gunforge doing? Did you do a retrospective on it? Hello, Odd Bloom Studio. Gunforged is, I mean, it's okay. It's nothing super impressive going on with that game. Still getting some residual sales, but I haven't really checked it either. And I did not do a retrospective, at least not a video one, on the channel here, so maybe I should do that, but I've got so much other stuff to do. Wonder if I tighten this up even more. So the flames are based on distance. No, the flames are going to be for the nodes that have been blessed by the trigger system that we're working on. So it's not based on distance. But we could try the orange. Let's try the orange. Why not use it as a feature? I mean, the color of the flames. I think that looks decent. Let's try something else. Copy this, paste it there, get rid of that. I'm also going to move this up a little bit. That looks decent. One thing I need to work on is particle effects. I have no clue or understand the particle system, yeah. I don't know, will that fit in considering it's not part of the palette? The colors, all the colors are part of the palette. So the colors that are, so like the normal flame is orange and then into that white here. The red and the green here are part of the color palette. They're just stepped down a little bit. But I think it works. I think it works. We could try that for now. Anyway, so that's just one part of the equation, though. I need to do an animation for when these things are triggered. How am I going to do this? My cat is being so distracting right now. So let's just get these blessed particles playing first when this is marked as a blessed node. So set show modifier effect on map node effect applied. Map node effects manager, map node effect applied. In a project like this, where a player can have all kinds of loot and the map nodes are variable, how do you deal with debugging specific situations / encounters? Well, the main way I do it is I just do a bunch of playtesting. The other thing is that this is all using a seed, a run seed. So if I encounter a run that has like a weird configuration or like an invalid configuration, what I can do is I can just rerun that seed every time. And then I can investigate the code that is producing that invalid configuration and fix it. So really, it's just a matter of doing that. Now, as far as like the ability system with the cards, that is all systematized. So meaning that your deck configuration on your board or an enemy deck configuration, there's no room for error there that's not going to be systemic. In other words, there's not going to be like a specific combination of cards that like bricks the game or whatever. If there's going to be a problem with certain cards interacting with each other, that's going to be at the system level, and it's going to need to be fixed at the system level. But all of the abilities and the cards and all those things that are systematized, they behave in a very predictable and ordered manner. And so there's really no risk of a specific combination of cards creating a problem. I don't know if I'm describing that well, but like I'll be playing the game and I'll notice that 2 cards are not interacting the way that they should be, but that's because there's a problem in my system where it's not accounting for that interaction, I guess you could say. But once I fix that one instance of that interaction not being valid, it will be fixed for all future interactions of that type. So I think like heavily systematizing everything, making sure everything behaves in a predictable and orderly manner is a way of managing that as well. Because there is a lot of like, I guess you would say emergent complexity, or at least I'm trying for there to be a lot of emergent complexity with how the cards work and how the synergies work. I'm not planning all the synergies from the top down. I'm basically just giving the player a bunch of tools to hopefully create their own synergies. So yeah. Will seeds be reusable for players as well? Yeah, the plan is to surface seeds to the player. So what you could do is you could share a seed with another person and you could play the same map. So you could say, you know, hey, this map was particularly difficult for me. Here's the seed. I want to see if you can beat it or whatever. I think that would also be useful, like if streamers happen to pick up the game, they could share the seeds with their audience if they encounter like a particularly ridiculous run, and then the audience could have fun on that same map with those same conditions. I think that would be really cool too, but we'll see. Hello, Chris. Welcome back. Good morning to you. Just like Balatro. I think so, yeah. I don't know much about how Balatro is built, but thanks, great details. You're welcome. But what if you want to test 2 specific cards? Do you have like a spawn scene or something? Yeah, I have a debug tool. I can go to my project settings here, go to my game debug section, and I can enable test player cards here, and then I can put any cards I want in here to start with, and then I can test those interactions together. That's usually how I test the new cards that I add, is I just debug, add them to my starting inventory, and then I see if they work, and then if they do work, that's basically it. I don't need to do a whole play test of the game until I encounter the card and then see if it works from there. And I do that for enemy cards too, by the way, because the enemy board generation system is also very systematized. So what I'll do is I'll make an enemy card, I'll put it in my inventory as a player, and I'll just see if that enemy card behaves as expected, and then that will be the extent of my testing. I just let the system that I've already built choose when to add that card to an enemy board, and since I know the card works on my board, there's nothing fundamentally different about how the enemy board works that would prevent the card from working in the same way on the enemy board. Because at the end of the day, the player board and the enemy board they're technically indistinguishable from each other. They behave exactly the same. The only difference is one board is the player is allowed to put and remove cards, put cards onto the board and remove cards from the board, and then the enemy board, the player is not allowed to do that. but in terms of how the card abilities and execution orders are coordinated and everything, it's exactly the same. Okay, so there's a problem here. How do you generate enemy words with wave function collapse? Okay, so now there's a problem here, which is that I need to be able to determine... when a trigger node apply effects to neighbors. Yeah, so this needs to be... I probably need to structure this a little bit differently now. Base map node effect. What I might need to do is I might need to do a... Let me do this. Map node effect context. Public record. Map node effect context. Run map node. Node, let's do public required. Run map node public required base map node effect public required bool is blessing, I guess. I guess we don't need to make that required. So now we're going to change this in here. We're going to make this map node effect context. Is that going to help me? Var node equals context.node. Remove first map node effect of type. Effects dot select context. First or default x dot map node effect is t map node effect. I think this will work. I don't know. We'll see. Do you use viewports in your game? I do, yes. Hello, Vicious the End. Also, welcome, Bomb Bomb Dom. It's time for game dev once again. Yes, indeed. Welcome, Jack and Daytona. Always good to see you. Fire, what should I do when I don't understand something? Give up? No, you shouldn't do that. Sanzo, welcome back to the stream. It depends on what you don't understand. I mean, you got to break things down into their most simple parts. So I would say it depends on what you don't understand. Like if you don't understand how the node system in Godot works, then you'll need to focus your efforts on, you know, watching high-level overview videos, the theory behind Godot, experimenting yourself with putting together nodes in the scene tree. If you don't understand an algorithm, a technical algorithm, it helps to go just line by line, figure out what each line is doing. You can also ask an LLM to go into a deep dive and explain in simpler terms what the algorithm is doing. That helps a lot. But yeah, you just want to break things down into their smallest parts. Like break down the smallest chunk of what you don't understand and try to get an understanding of that. And then you just keep repeating that process until you get a more thorough understanding of a more complex system, right? So if you don't know, for example, how the Godot scene tree works, the first thing to answer might be, you know, what is a node, right? Like what fundamentally is a node? And then when you understand what fundamentally a node is, you can start building up, okay, like what is a scene tree now? Well, a scene tree is a collection of a bunch of nodes and their descendants, right? So yeah, I don't know. It depends on what you're trying to do, but typically you just want to break things down into small chunks and then just try to understand those small chunks one at a time. Hey, when people use good programming practices, like what are you, some sort of person who actually names their functions like they expect to read them again? Yeah. Yep. I'm just going to let the AI autocomplete this stuff for me. So we're just replacing this with a different object here. Okay, so now we've stored more information about this. So we'll worry about this in just a second here, but first, new map node effect context. Node equals node. This is not a blessing. Okay, trigger configuration, neighbor positive map effect, node equals neighbor. And this is a blessing here. Why is this not working? Oh. Okay. Now I need to make this is blessing equals true. So apply map node effect. This is emitting signal map node effect applied. So dot map node effect applied. Set show modifier effect. So now we need to do public void set show blessing effect. Bool show node private GP particles 2D blessing particles dot emitting equals show. Okay, so now my map container here, var contains modifier is equal to let's do it up here. Where is this used? Okay. Public static bool has modifier effects. Run map node. Context.any not is blessing. Has blessing effects. Okay. On map node effect applied set show modifier effect. Map node effects has blessing effect. Map node effects manager dot has modifier effects. I can just simplify this, I guess. Oh, it doesn't matter. I don't care. I don't care. Alrighty then. Let's see. I don't know. Let's see if that works. Find myself doing a lot of comments on my scripts because my brain just moves too quickly. Then I look at it without comments and I'm like, what the heck does this button do? And I break everything. That can happen for sure. Okay, let's give it a try. Thank you, Fire. I'll try not to give up. I just feel so stupid lately. Well, game development is very, very difficult. It's not easy. There's a lot that you need to learn. And so I think the number one thing is you need to have patience with yourself because it does take a lot of effort to understand these things. Yeah. Most of your functions have 3 to 5 lines of code in them. Throughout my academic life, I've written and read thousands of lines of code by me or my friends, and no code base ever looked like that. Yeah. I don't know. That's part of the way of making my code readable, or at least this is the way that I approach it. There's not really a right or wrong way to do it, but readable variable names, readable function names, and functions should ideally be as small as possible. Because your functions, they should serve as building blocks of your system. They should be hyper-focused on doing whatever the function says it does, and they should have minimal side effects. It's just part of making the code more readable, more predictable. Okay, there we go. Sweet. Now I want to visit the obelisk and see if that triggers the other particle effects as well. Visit the obelisk. Transforms 3 nodes into reagent nodes. Yeah, so now we've got layered effects here, where this is indicating, these little sparkles here are indicating that these are affected by an obelisk modifier, and then the ones that are on fire are affected by a blessing. Cool. All right, so I think that's working. We still want to do like an animation for the blessing happening. I don't know exactly how I want to do that, but maybe we'll work on that next. Okay, so distinguish between blessing and normal modifiers. Okay. All right, I'm going to take a quick 3-minute break, and when I come back, we will figure out how to do what? Figure out how to do an animation for this, because I want this to be like a trigger. I want it to like notify the player that they've stepped on a trigger, and that some nodes are being blessed. So probably going to want to do some kind of animation there. I just don't know what I want it to be. Maybe we could do like a little dove or something. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Okay, I'll be right back in just 3 minutes though, and we will continue on. Okay, I'm back. The main thing is to keep going. Knowledge is a marathon, not a sprint. Yes, exactly. Yeah. And the other key thing, too, is not to compare yourself to other people. Like, you might be watching this stream and maybe you're thinking, you know, how does Firebelly do it so easily? How can he just, like, implement the features that he wants to implement? And the answer is because I've been doing this for many, 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 many years. When I first started doing game development when I was like 14 or 15 years old, I was in that position where I'm like, how do I do this? Like, is this the right way to do it? I get stuck on something simple like platformer movement for like hours on end, and like, you know, these things that are now relatively simple to me were just like completely puzzling and bamboozling, and I spent many frustrated hours wondering what the heck was wrong with me. Why couldn't I figure it out? And the reason is just, yeah, I was just inexperienced. I had a lot to learn, and there was a lot of things that could only be learned through trial and error and could only be learned through those frustrating moments where I just didn't know what was happening, right? But that's just part of the natural learning process. So it is a marathon. You have to just have patience with yourself. Crack opens up and hellfire shoots forth lightning, lighting the fire, representing your god's blessing. Well, it's not a blessing for you. It's a blessing. It's the enemy faction blessing the nodes, because they add a negative effect for the player, as well as a positive effect just for gameplay purposes. But you're the evil faction, and the enemy faction is actually the good faction. And so it's going to be the Inquisition or whatever blessing the node, which is designed to make it, you know, just change up the game a little bit. So it's definitely got to be like holy of some kind. Try to think of some kind of lore reason why some mechanic would exist, even if it's not a story-heavy game, and try to figure out what would fit there. Yeah. I've definitely felt this, especially when it comes to patterns and how to implement them. It took a long time, but I found my own way of understanding them as my experience grew. If you aren't confused at all times, you're doing something wrong. Yeah, that's one way to look at it. I agree 100% with this. I have been practicing game dev for a year and did my first game jam that did seem well, and that gave me more fire to get more knowledge. Yeah. Yep, that's right. Okay. I don't know. I kind of feel like, am I going to make a fool of myself? I kind of want to, I don't know if this is going to work. I was thinking about doing like a dove or something. Do a dove or something that flies to the nodes that are being blessed. But I don't think that would work. I just don't know of a good effect here. I mean, I can do a really simple thing to start, I suppose. It doesn't need to be overly visually complicated. Hello, Mr. Belly. Hello, Turbo Shook. Welcome back. I thought it was a blessing for you because of the fire. Yeah. Maybe I'll change the effect again. I don't know, but all the visual effects in the game are going to have to be reworked at some point. I'm just not super good with visual effects. I think what I need to do is, let me think. Probably going to need to do something similar to this. Animated map node changes. Animate map node changes. To event type, get map affected nodes. Am I even using this? Oh yeah. So I'm gonna have to do this a little bit differently. I guess what I can do here, let's just create a new object in here, map. Let's just do new file, animated, map node, blessings, I guess. Public async task, animate map node blessings. Clickable coordinator, disable mouse input, change and animated blessings dot change. Yeah, this is gonna have to be all changed here, but that's all right. Map node effect context. So I think what I should do, this apply effects to neighbors. Let's make this return a dictionary. This should actually be map node effect context. Get effects to apply to neighbors. Okay, var result is equal to new dictionary. Positive map node effect, negative map node effect. If positive map node effect is not equal to null, so we'll do this. We'll say result neighbor is equal to new list, and we can just actually simplify this. We're gonna do result neighbor dot add. Do the same here. Then we return result at the end. Okay. Why do I still have an error? Oops. Okay. And then here we're going to do get trigger configuration per node var effects to apply equals trigger configuration get effects to apply to neighbors. Do I even need this? Well, that's all right. Let's just do this. Dictionary, run map node, list, map node effect context. I'll just make this simple, I suppose. Oh, wait. Game map dot map container dot animate map node blessings new animated map node blessings. Changes is equal to effects to apply. We'll get rid of that. Key.position between interval. Apply map node effect. This is going to be change.value, and we're going to want to do this. Actually, this needs to change. Oops. What the heck is going on? For each var effect context in change.value, apply map node effect. Force recenter camera, clickable coordinator, enable mouse input. Okay, that should work. Well, let's see if that works. There's definitely opportunity for more animation stuff here, but I just want to call that out. Okay. Announcements dot create announcement. The Inquisition blesses some locations or something like that. I don't know. Oops. What? Why did that break? Oh, that's concerning. Anyway. Skip the obelisk. Those announcements, that's not centered. I'll have to fix that. Hello, V. Welcome back. How you doing? Yeah, that visual effect could definitely be nicer, but I think it's all good. So I need to update just writing this down. Okay, so we have still one issue here, which I may want to fix, but and that issue is that you take increasing fire damage over time. This doesn't apply the fire effect. So if I do this, I get a fire stack here, but it doesn't apply the fire effect. So I'm going to need to change that. Play effect for ability. Notify ability executed. So the problem is the fire effect is not played unless it's coming from an ability, but the other thing is that I can apply status effects through the status component directly. So I wonder if I do this effect player component, is that on the board itself? Board. Effect player component. So let's do this. Let's get a reference, private status component, public, override void ready. Let's do this instead. Let's do status component dot, do I have a signal? Status applied, yeah. Status applied plus equals on status applied. Private void on status applied. Base status. And what we're going to do is we're going to take we don't need to do that. On status applied. Poison status, fire status. Can I just do this? Am I allowed to do this? Oh, it has to return. Oh, it doesn't like that. Okay, we're just going to do this the easy way. If status is fire status, else if status is poison status, okay, we can get rid of fire and shield and poison. Okay, let's build this. Does GDScript really not have a for each? I don't think it does, no. Or no, it can't. No, it does. For element in, yeah, it does. Yeah, I think that's right. I'm so used to having C# having a special keyword, yeah. Okay, let's see. So the last thing I need to do is in my board here, this needs to be assigned to the status component. And now let's see if that works. Okay, we got some fire here. Let's see. We'll alchemize the skeleton to get some fire damage. Cool. Uh-oh. I can't click on any nodes. That's not good. Oh, that's not good at all. Let's grab this seed. Let's do it again. So what did I do? I went here first. This should give me the fire. And go here. Uh-oh, that's not good. I got soft locked and I don't know why. Anyway, let's just test this fire effect real quick. Okay, that is still working, so that's good. The fire animation locks player's camera, or I guess you move the camera weird maybe. Yeah, I don't know why that soft locked. Because I didn't reproduce it by going to the same seed, so I don't know. Maybe if I just click like a madman. Oh no. I can't reproduce it. That's unfortunate. Smells like game development, yeah. My favorite cover is Smells Like Teen Spirit. Not a phantom bug, I know. Let's give it one more shot here. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to determine why it broke in the first place. We'll see. We will see. Oh, okay. I think I figured it out. I was able to pan the camera before that animation kicked in. Let me think. I think I figured it out. Well, I know how to reproduce it at least. How do I fix this? I think this is the line in question here. I don't even know why I had that. Maybe that line doesn't need to be there. I think that was the problem, though. Let's see if that is indeed the problem. So I was able to drag the map before that happened. And now these are back on. Okay. Well, I'm not seeing any reason why that line needs to be there. We're going to get rid of this. This map input layer should not be managing the overall input state of the map. Oh, but I also have, if is action released, node clickable coordinator. Where is this used? Man. I think this is probably still going to be broken. I might need to rethink how this works. I don't even know why I'm allowed to pan the camera. Ugh, okay. Yeah, it's still broken. All right. Or there's like a disable... What? I don't know. I'm going to have to figure that out later. We'll just log that as a bug for now. I'll fix that later. I'm going to have to figure that one out. Okay. Change how status component affects play. Anyway, this is basically done now. So we're good to go. Yeah, no, Fire Valley Productions does not leave behind unpatched bugs. Fire Valley produces the highest quality content, right? Yeah. Produces the highest quality bugs, oh my gosh. Well, anyway, it's lunchtime for me, so I'm going to go ahead and eat lunch. That's going to be it for the stream today. Thank you all for watching. Thank you for being here. I will probably... So it's Thanksgiving week in the United States here, which is on Thursday. So I'm probably not going to stream tomorrow because I have to prep. I have some guests coming over on Thanksgiving, so I got to do all the typical prep work, go shopping, clean the house, that kind of thing. And I also won't be streaming on Thanksgiving Day, obviously. So yeah, I guess I will be back here then Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern. So I hope to see you there. In the meantime, you can wishlist Alchemortis. That would help me out a lot. You can also check out the Patreon. And what else? You can also join the Discord. So everything's linked in the description below. Check those out if you're interested. I hope you all have a good day, and I will see you back here on Friday. All right, take care, everyone. Bye-bye.